Welcome again. Queries again. We start with the first query, but the time limit is 10 minutes in the software version. So we go back to queries again and try to perform two more queries. So I made them, but I forget that the software is still working. Could finish the 10 minutes. So I'm doing it again. We made the first query, which was now about female dog animals, and we said, to change anything, you need to open it in design view and change any of the criteria, make it one criteria, double criteria, or any number of criteria to do them together. Now we go and produce from that list. Remember the list, I said you can use that list to help you to think about, what good ideas about queries. But for example, I myself, I will try to perform this query. Number 5, search for animals with prescription monthly renewal date between 2 and 7. This will return a set of animals with the number of prescription monthly renewal date between 2 and 7. What this means, if I'm a doctor, I'm asking the reception desk, to give me the names of animals expecting to point tomorrow, for example. They will run a query to find this list of animals. So how we do that? Remember, to do that query, more than one table will be involved. The animal details table and the table which has the prescription monthly renewal date, which is the treatment table. So I go and perform the following steps to do this query. I query design, and then I add the animal details table and the treatment details table and close it. So I have these two columns now. Now I need the animal details like animal ID, animal name, date of birth, table type, 6 for example, and the owner ID. And what is important is the prescription monthly renewal date. So here, I need to write the criteria now. Now here under criteria, then I put, and so I between 5, I'm sorry, what was the date, 2 and 7. This means, the animals expecting to see between 2 of March until 7 of March is the list that will be received. You can make it for one day only, but let's see, what happens, right click here, save it. The name should have meaning. So animals expecting to appoint and specified date or day in a month. Okay, so this is a good name for the query. Close and run. Double click. So between 2 and 7, I'm expecting to see the following animals. This is the criteria result. That one, the criteria, because under the prescription monthly renewal date, I put 2 to 7 or between 2 and 7. And remember, the syntax is very important. If I write between with only E, not double E, it will give me nothing. And let's try that. Go to design view and come in here between. I make it, one E and run. Gives nothing. So the syntax is very important, when we write the programming code or syntax, so that it can be understood by a computer. Can we make it for one day? Yes, maybe we can make it, for example, the 28th. The animals will be in the clinic on 28th of March, next March, for example, and run, and we'll have this list of animals. They all coming in that date, 28th, right? So that one is closed, yes, and remember to rename if you want to keep it the 28th. The third query which I perform, which represents, the different situation. Now I'm asking the user to enter a value, find the animals owned by, and enter the owner ID. So now I'm asking the user to give me the owner ID, and then I give him the owned animals or animal. You know that the relationship is 1 to n, which means that one owner can own more than one animal, but the animal is owned by one owner at the same time. So what we do then, find the animals owned by an entered owner ID, which will return the animal details owned by an owner ID. So I'll go back. Remember what the tables involved here. I have the owner details and the animal details. So create query design, the animal details add, and the owner details add. Close. Remember that the tables come with the relationship which was produced previously or area before. Now I need the animal ID, name, date of birth, type, sex. It's up to you. It's optional. It means the animal details. You can select them all. You can select just specific things or fields in that table. And we need the owner ID and owner name. If you want, you can add the owner, but we will be looking for the user to enter the owner ID. So under owner ID criteria like this, I make it bigger and say, bracket like this one, it should be like this one, bracket like this one, bracket, and please enter the owner ID. It is like when you go to the traffic department asking about car description or details using car plate number. So that will be very similar. If you, or maybe the stuff, and the, say, okay, give me your car ID, so that you enter the car plate number to find all information about the car. So we will need to run it then, or save it first. So what we name this, we name find animals owned by specified owner ID. This is the name of that, and then we run it. Now that's very strange. Look at this. For example, cancel. Then I close it, and then I double click. Okay. Find animal using. Now he's asking for me number. If you remember the owner ID, if you remember the owner details, the owner ID is a number between 1 and 49. Why not 50? Because if you remember B, this one, he owns 2 animals that will be tested, in this query. So I will show you, that now this means, that I need to enter a number between 1 and 49 to see, each owner ID, what animals he owns. So get back here, and for example, press 2. 2 means, the animal name is Jack, and it is a dog, female, owned by son, whose email is blah, blah, blah. Okay? What about the second try? Close. Yes. And then I do it again. But this time, I choose 48. Why choose 48? I remember this owner ID belongs to B, who's the only one owner in that database who owns more than one animal. He owns 2 dogs or cats, I can't remember. So let's like that. This is the B, Mr. B, the same email, same owner ID. He owns a cat male and a cat male. One is them Lola and the other one is Lona. Remember the cat, those 2 cats, they have different IDs, which is true. So this is what it works, the query. But I hope that this was useful. Remember, I need 6 useful queries, and I would like to show you again this picture so that it can help you. You come with more ideas about. Sorry, not the logo. I'm asking for the picture queries. I'm asking for the. I'm showing you that so that you can remember how you can generate ideas. I did this by myself. And I'm sure there's a lot of ideas. Maybe we can get 100 even more than useful queries if we think like creativity way. So I'm expecting you to come up with 6 queries. Remember the queries in the database, they come like that. Now we have 4 tables, 4 forms and queries here. We have 3. They should be minimum 6. If you come with 7, 8,